always this weird part where I have to assume this bit is live. Oh, it says the stream is live on the thingy now. Hello, I hope you're all well. Sláinte, as we say, my people. I would apologize for the state of my office, but honestly, I spent quite a lot of time cleaning this up. If I'm entirely honest with you, I actually wanted to have the lights off. I thought it looked mean, moody, and mysterious, and I was overruled by other people because so now you get to see the state of my office. Anyway, I'm just checking in. I hope you're all there. Do say hello when you pop in. I can see some comments. Some people, Gaz and Discworld, lovely. And yes, me and Jodie Taylor's books out on the same day. I actually did an event with the lovely Jodie last night down in Battersea Power Station, which is obviously great significance in her The Wonderful World of the Time Police, which is the book is out this week. Then the other one is obviously St. Mary's. Debbie, good evening. The wonderful Debbie. How are you, my love? I hope you're all keeping well. They're all flying in now. Good. This is what I like to see. So you're all very welcome. It has been a tremendously chaotic week already. On Sunday, we had Caimh Stock, which was a fantastic... from Cabra. Hello. I went to school in Cabra. I don't know if you knew that, but oh, yeah. Me and Pascal Donoghue, the Irish Minister for Finance, sat beside each other in school for 5 years. So you're all very, very welcome. It's lovely to see you. Hello from Australia. Bizarrely, I don't know. I think you might be the furthest week because that's pretty much the furthest you can be. But would you have someone coming on later on, the wonderful George, who is in New Zealand? And Charlotte, Cornwall, Southeast London. You could have come to last night. I mean, that's pretty close to you, Battersea. No excuse. Dorset. Oh, fantastic. Oh, they're all coming in now. New Hampshire, USA. Lovely stuff. You're all very, very welcome. Yes, it's been, as I said, we had Caimh Stock at the weekend or Caimh Fest. We should probably have a vote on which one of those names is better at some point. Which, if you don't know, was basically we did the walking tours, and then we had an event in the evening where it was me and the wonderful Brendan McDonald, who you'll see in a moment, having a chat. And then in the second half, we had questions from the audience where I apparently agreed to do whatever anyone wanted if they asked. The excuse was it was sold out last night, to be fair. And then we also had, at the end of the first half, we had a world premiere of a piece of theatre written by me and performed by Brendan and two friends of ours, Pigeen and Phil, where it was like a three voices thing. And it all went swimmingly. We were delighted with it. And then we spent a lot of time afterwards figuring out where to get food. We ended up going for pizza. I'll be honest, wasn't a great pizza, but you know, you work with what you got. I don't know if anyone here has had gluten-free pizza, but it's like, do you want some fun-free fun? It just reminds you how much you used to like pizza. That is gluten-free pizza. I mean, genuinely, there are pieces of carpet, I'm guessing, have more taste and flavor. Anyway, speaking of flavor, there's a link. We should, as I say, we do have guests this evening. Oh, Norway. Oh, fantastic. Norway, sorry. We do have guests, one of which I can just see saying hello to everyone. But if she'd like to know, because she's in charge of everything, I mean, not just tonight, but in general. But if Wonder Wife would like to make her presence known, here she comes. Oh. There she is.
I've got an interloper as well.
Bonus dog. There is Jackson, who will not appear in any pictures of my books, but apparently will now do live streams, which is, you know,
taking it upon himself to get himself into shot.
Look how sad his little face looks all the time. Oh, my life is so hard. I miss being half starving up that mountain. Now all that happens is people keep giving me food. Well, telling me I'm brilliant. He's just looking at you like, could you come over to the sofa, please? Because I'm trying to have a sleep here and I need somebody warm to sit beside. I'm sure the other fella at least will make himself heard at some point.
Oh, he's here. He's next to me, being stroked as well. He's having a bum scratch. So,
that was
by the way, really segue, by the way. Really smooth. Well done, Caimh. Well done.
Oh, I'm a DJ. I always quite wanted to. I like the idea of being a DJ. I think that's what I did with Decky in the books. I quite like the idea. I think Decky is secretly me. Speaking of this is, oh my God, I'm 2 for 2 on segues. Speaking of the Dublin books, I know. Speaking of being on fire, First off, this is the benefits of doing boxing bird, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that figure. Go on, just go on, flex your muscles. She's got serious guns. But she's also, we're not just showing off the hot bod. We're also showing off the hot dress, it's got all the Dublin books on it. And is it available now from our shop?
It isn't. It is available, but I've not made it public to everybody. So if anybody would like a Dublin trilogy dress, they can get one in the future. I shall add that dependent on demand, but yes, it will be there.
Okay, well, I assumed it was already there because although I'm basically advertising something and you're then saying we might not never release it.
Just flick a switch and make that happen. So, but yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say flick the switch. We can't do. See, at least Will loves the dress. I don't know if he wants one, but he might do.
We also have hoodies and t-shirts too.
Yeah, and there's also the wonderful. Oh, hang on, I can do the bit, can't I? Bancroft's Old Peculiar. This is from Karen, the Mistress of Merch, did all this stuff. She did a fantastic job for us. Some of you might know her from Jodie World. But yes, we got these drinky thingies, which are very cool. And there's a load of stuff. Sorry, this is now becoming an infomercial, but I was just pointing out there's a load of stuff there. Is there anything else I need to be saying, or do I crack on and bring on?
I'm going to leave you to your own devices. Famous last words.
Claire, you might have just missed that bit. The dress should be available. In fact, could you make it available now? It feels like this is.
Hang on.
Kurt.
I'll go away and I'll make that available. I'll disappear.
It feels like we've now become one of those weird shopping channels. Do they still exist?
They do. Normally on ITV or public TV after
at like 4 in the morning and stuff. God, my lifestyle must have improved. I haven't seen one of them for a while. But yes, the dress will be available. Elaine has got them made by the brilliant, and then for some reason was debating whether she was going to sell them to people. She's not. I mean, she's wonderful in many ways. She's not quite caught on to how commerce works, but we're getting there. Slowly but surely, the woman who's running our company is going to try and figure out that we should actually try occasionally to sell some stuff. QV Theatres Dublin, indeed. She does have amazing dresses. She's got when I did a German Q&A when I was doing a German event a few years ago, the first question was somebody going, and the Germans just so wonderfully polite. They really are. I love Germans. So I'm very sorry, this isn't technically a question for you, but where did your wife get her dresses? Which was the first question. And yes, that is my German accent.
Dottie and Dolly, they are amazing.
Yeah, but now I
am just going to wear our own merchandise. So yes, yeah, you shall see me in hoodies galore. And I'm going to go and put the dress on the shop, and I shall see you all later. Have a good evening.
Okay, don't take it off and put it on because I think we come back and she's just there. And we did genuinely have the joke beforehand about we should get some Bunny McGarry underwear. It'd be amazing. You can pop off and then I'll just. By the way, someone asked about because actually Brendan just asked about where can we do a Stranger Times dress because he wanted one, and the answer is at the moment we can't because we don't have the rights to the covers. Welcome to the wonderful world of publishing. The less said, the better. Anyway, what are you launching, John? I'm glad you asked. It's officially ring. It's also up there in the corner of the screen. Ring the bells is out. I say actually that we're actually doing 2 launches tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This is also out. It came to the post today. I'm guessing that is Love Will Tear Us Apart, but this is the Ukrainian version of Love Will Tear Us Apart. So delighted to see that. I'll tell you what as well. Ukrainian language much more efficient than English. Look at the size difference between them. I'm assuming they haven't just cut out some bits, but either way, look, they're having a tough time. But good luck to them. Genuinely, any Ukrainians, delighted. Was delighted to get published over there. It's slightly odd, given the way things are, but fair play to them. They're wonderful people. I'm not quite a few. And now I'm slightly annoyed. Now I'm not wearing the same dress. Well, I mean, we're all. Listen to half the audiobook today, and it's awesome. Speaking of teeing up things being on fire, I think on that comment, listen to half the audiobook today, and it is awesome from Rob in the comments. We should bring on your friend and mine, a terrible house guest, but a wonderful narrator, and a man who it turns out needs to be fed every 45 minutes. Please welcome to the LaunchEvent, the wonderful Brendan McDonnell. And oh my god, look at that for efficient.
Oh, hello. I was just reading a book. You interrupted me. Hello, everyone.
Oh well, I don't know how he got hold of that. We did not give him that. He stolen that from our house. Let me just start by saying that. There's several things that disappeared.
So
there are several things that disappeared over the weekend. We used to have one of those hubcaps as well. Is that a hubcap? I don't know why I'm bending my head to look at it.
I'm in my son's room. I didn't realize that was in the background.
Is he like getting a car like for his birthday every year? Are you like giving him one to build up over time?
No, it's just off stuff he robs.
Oh, okay, good. As long as there's a good.
Sorry, Charlie. I know you're watching. No, he doesn't. I'm joking, of course. Hi, Caimh.
No.
Happy lunch day.
Brendan. Haven't seen you. Thanks very much. Haven't seen you for ages. How you been?
No, I've been far better now that I have half the belongings of your house and that your fridge is empty as well. So
Yeah, we still and we've seen Jackson, but we don't know where Diller is. We're just hoping.
Oh, my boys! They're my dogs now.
Yeah. I mean, Diller looked quite forlorn for the day and a half after you'd left because he was like, "Oh, I look at his face repeatedly for hours."
My morning shower. Just I can tell everyone, because when I arrived at your house, I was saying it's like meeting two celebrities, meeting Jackson and Diller. They're such a part of the Bunnyverse and the Stranger Times family, and everyone knows them. So to actually meet them, I think I kind of was a bit starstruck, really, but they did not disappoint, and they're so wonderfully different. And Diller's just all over you, and Jackson, as you saw there, I think Jackson does come from nobility in some way, or he's like a regal dog who just observes everything quietly. He's very impressive.
He's up himself. He's got tickets on himself, which is it's one of the few British phrases I really love. But he's got tickets on himself. I love as a phrase.
Is that kind of like having notions? Is that what Irish?
Very much like having notions. Yeah, there's quite a few. There's quite a few Irish versions of that, which tells you quite a lot about the Irish people. Oh, look at him! Thinking he's too good.
Yeah.
So, what were your impressions of Manchester, Brendan?
Oh my goodness me! I mean, I see a lot of people who were in the comments. Were there on Sunday, and thank you so much, everyone, for coming along. It was. Would you know what I described it to my lovely wife as? I said it was like a dream. It was like a dream. The whole weekend was incredible. To my shame, I had never been to Manchester, so it was my first time setting foot in the sanctified turf of Manchester. And the walking tour was just so enjoyable, apart from the 10 minutes of the biblical deluge in Tour 1. Apologies for anyone who got stuck in that. But the walking tour was brilliant. So great to meet everyone. So unusual to get almost 18,000 steps up on the old step counter, which for me is very important for my calorie energy deficit, where I'm eating every 45 minutes, so I got to burn it off.
Yeah, I was amazed the size of you that you just like, he literally just finished a meal. He's like, when are we going to eat again? Like, I need to plan my day out. And I was like, geez, I'm a fat lad and I'm not worried about it. Brendan's actually quite skinny, and he's apparently well, compared to me, yeah. But speaking of which, one of the people there was the lovely sister Irene, and she gave me a wonderful, a gorgeous presentation box of rum, which was tremendously nice. She's my favorite, and I am enjoying a little bit of your run. If you're here, Irene, tonight, God love her, she's a wonderful woman. And but yeah, the whole thing in all seriousness went great. We loved it. We're talking about maybe doing something similar again, maybe next year or the year after or something.
It was phenomenal, wasn't it? And Sunday night then in 53-2 was just wonderful. And to have everyone there, to have the place sold out, to have Phil and Peggy doing the piece with us as well, which I thought Caimh's new piece that he wrote especially was really brilliant. I thought it was great. I hope we did it some justice. And just the night was so much fun, and it was so lovely to meet everyone afterwards. And I suppose, being serious about it, to hear just, it's nice to know the effect that your writing has on some people and that they love it so much. And it was lovely to hear about people enjoying the audiobooks as well from a personal point of view. So just great to meet everyone and And
I mean,
here
you were the belle of the ball. I mean, Brendan was like, "Oh, I'm not going to sign stuff." It's like they're going to make you sign stuff. You signed more stuff than I did.
I just felt like a bit of an interloper. It's not my. I didn't
Oh,
create
shut
this.
up! You're
I'm nothing without you.
yeah, and you're right, but still, you are something with. I mean, the audiobooks are a lot shorter if I haven't written the book. I mean, it's just you going.
Well, that's
so it's you saying a title, say my name, saying your name, and then going for like 13 hours, which I'm sure you could make entertaining.
That's pretty much it.
But yeah, it was fantastic. We do also have the myself and Brendan. We're supposed to do a podcast recording on, was it Saturday night? Yeah, and yeah, basically we have clip-on mics, so the sound quality will be alarmingly good. The podcasting itself, though, it was a couple of the lads who were having a few drinks, and we discovered afterwards it kept stopping and starting at random points, and we lost
stopping and starting, was it? It kind of.
Well, no, do you not remember? See, it's how many drinks you had. We forgot. I only found out at the end of the 2-hour session that it was on my watch. I have an Apple Watch that is nothing but a nuisance, and if I was moving my hand, it was stopping and starting. That's apparently how I stopped, because I kept looking at the phone. I didn't even touch it that time.
I feel your pain. That's annoyance. Yeah.
And we did that many steps.
Brendan O'Connell's going to sue me if you release it, isn't he?
I was trying to avoid saying the name, but yes, there is some content that probably shouldn't get.
What are you going to do? Wobbly bits.
No, I just saw a quote from someone, and Brendan does not have to do that. In fact, he's not going to do that. I am putting my foot down. Shut up, Brendan.
Off. No.
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah. You have to come to the live shows. Actually, that's going to be. Forget how we sell it. Everything else. How we're going to sell the live show from now is you have to come to the live show if you want to hear Brendan's impression of me, which, by the way, is annoyingly good.
It's not. It's terrible, and I apologize unreservedly for it.
It was that annoying that we had to kind of stop having a chat at that point, because every time I said something now, people were laughing, and not for the reasons I was hoping. It was genuinely brilliant. You know. That's one for the true people. Well, I think without further ado, we should bring on a woman who's a friend of yours and mine. In fact, you have narrated her audiobook.
I have indeed. I had the pleasure of it, yes. And
over London.
Her good man, Tony.
Tony herself and her partner, Tony. I genuinely probably should have checked this before, and I don't think they've been together for ages, but I don't know if really, this is not good. This is not good social etiquette, or indeed anything. Let's bring her on, George.
25 years we've been together. 25. Hello.
I knew it was a long time, but has he made an honest woman of you? Is the thing?
I think no. I'm a very dishonest woman. I'm just completely dishonest. Congratulations on the book launch, Caimh.
Thank you very much. Lovely to have you, George. Especially because we should explain to people, you are in New Zealand at the minute.
Yep, I'm in New Zealand.
I say at the minute. Have you closed the curtains just because you don't want to upset us by showing us how much wonderful sunlight you have?
No, well, yes and no. I've closed the curtains because if I have them open, I'm going to look like the ghost that you looked like at the beginning when you had the lights.
Oh yes, at the beginning, not now.
And this is just going to turn spectral. I'm going to be a Stranger Times candidate.
Oh well, it's lovely to have you here, George.
Thank you.
And yeah, it's been a lovely week, I think, overall. Oh, by the way, I think I mentioned this briefly to you beforehand. I'm now going to consult my phone because we did the walking tours on Sunday, and I didn't realize this. And just got an email from Christopher Brookmeyer. Wow. Sorry. Shameless name up there.
I know.
That's,
shameless.
I know. I tell you what he did. But, speaking of which, events-wise, Wonder Wife might need to pop on. I should probably do this now. This is how wonderfully organized I am. We did Caimh Stock, and then last night I was down in London with the wonderful Jodie Taylor. Tomorrow night I'm in Leeds and at the Waterstones there, and there's tickets still available for that as far as we know. Elaine, I'm guessing, is furiously Googling now if there are tickets still available for Monday, or she's just reading
Monday,
something else.
they
I think
were,
Glasgow's.
when I looked earlier on today, there were still tickets available, but I shall confirm. Keep talking amongst yourselves.
Oh, that's right. Because okay, yeah, but I think there might be a couple left, but it's pretty close to sold out. Last we heard. And then I'm always getting this wrong. What's the name of the place I went? Kibworth? No, Kibworth.
Kibworth, yeah.
On Wednesday. And then. Sorry?
Oh, no, sorry. I lie. It says it's sold out online. But maybe if you call the store, they may have some tickets available.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with these things, one of these things with book events, probably shouldn't say this in case it doesn't work, but if you're in the area, it's probably worth wondering by, because the nature of these things, people always get delayed at work and stuff. She's gone again. That was fast.
You could just mush your face up against the glass, just zombie like while he's talking.
Please, can I come in?
Please.
I've actually had that where we did weird gigs somewhere where there's a big glass, because when you're doing stand-up, you really don't want sunlight coming in behind you. But I've done that a few times in my glorious career. And the weirdest thing is, like, literally you're on stage and somebody with their dog walks by and the dog stops to take a shit while you're on stage. Nobody is a good enough stand-up comedian, by the way, to not draw attention away from the dog. No one has that ability. I don't care who they are, and I've worked with some of the best, ladies and gentlemen, but none of them can beat a dog having a shit.
My dog thinks you're shit.
Yeah, I mean, the dog then picking up and throwing at you is a hell of a heckle. But just finishing on, because my wife disappeared there immediately without finishing the rest of this, because she's back again. Hello. And then we're doing Irish Discworld in Cork at the weekend, which is sold out.
So jealous.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We did Discworld, the sort of the big one in the UK last year, which is great. Oh no, year before last? Because Jodie World was last year. Was Jodie World last year as well then? Yeah, it was.
No, Jodie World this year. We just went in May.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I keep forgetting that. I keep thinking this year is the start of this year, and it's now October. That's welcome to my.
Because normally your books come out in January or February, so that's why.
Yeah.
Stranger Times is January, February things. We constantly think we're in January or February. That's what it is.
And that's why I missed your birthday. I remember now. I should say, by the way, randomly, if you have any questions for us, myself, George, Brendan, Wonder Wife, stick them in the comments, and Wonder Wife will pop them into the thingy, and we shall address them in the appropriate manner.
Sorry, one question that Kate Lyons has just asked earlier. What's the pile of shit on the floor over your left-hand shoulder?
Well, I mean, I think you'll find that pile of shit is actually over.
We were discussing that.
That is actually over my right. Yeah, I think you'll find that's actually over my left-hand shoulder. So there, who looks stupid? Still me.
It's the creative process in action, right? It's just the creative process, Caimh.
It's just me being an idiot. That's MDF terrain that I've sprayed. Yeah. I mean, just to give you in context of my office, Brendan, before he left on Monday morning, went, "Can I come up and see the office? I really want to see the office." It's like, "Oh, you don't want to go see the office." And like, I'm bringing a bit ago, it's a real mess. Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. He said, "No, this is basically you walk in here and it's an ADHD fucking diagnosis there and then, where it's like 10 different things I've started not dealing with." And literally, Brendan went, "That's not too." Yeah, no, it is bad. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no easy way of saying it.
Yeah, I will, because I'll hang on. I'm going to make you feel bad now. Hang on, I'm just taking my headphones off. This is good. No, don't go looking at my arse. Watch it.
It's what people these days would call a creative hub.
Creative hub.
Creative hub, Caimh.
This is my post-apocalyptic building I made out of card.
So this is the model of your bunker that you're both going to retreat to at some stage?
This was like a test thing just to see, but I made that out of, so there you go.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's what it's nice to have a creative outlet, because, my work is so unsatisfying.
What inspired you to do this? I want to know what inspired the creation of this.
YouTube videos. It's just, I watch YouTube videos of people making stuff out of cardboard.
What rabbit hole did you go down? Which YouTube videos?
Oh, there's loads of content creators, and like this is all like with various paints and stuff. They're bottle
Marvelous.
caps. That's something from something. Anyway, no, this is not my core audience's requirements. They don't want to see this stuff. It wasn't a criticism. Oh, okay. Well, you're the only person who was. Everyone else was criticizing me, to be fair. Brendan was definitely criticizing me.
Caimh, I need to point out, my wife has said the exact same thing as I did. Francis Bacon's art studio.
Yeah.
Diana Keefe in the comments.
But look at you with your fancy family with your fancy artistic. Oh yeah.
Yes.
I guarantee my wife walks in. When my wife walks into this office, she does not say, "Oh my God, it's Francis Bacon." That was not her choice of words. You can see she walks in occasionally. Very, very rarely it has to be said.
I would imagine it probably is quite rare.
Yeah.
I'd say she comes up here, I'd say once every 3 or 4 months. And you can just see she just sort of focuses on asking me a question or talking to me, and then she gets out because you can see in her head she goes, if I start looking around, I'm going to go absolutely mental. Because fun fact about my wife, ladies and gentlemen, the first words one of her oldest friends said to her when she met her in university for the first time, because they were living in halls together, she genuinely walked in and went, "Why does your room smell of Dettol?" Because Elaine's mum was a nurse, and she was so used, like she basically then would come home and clean the house in the same way she cleaned the medical wards. So Elaine just thought everything for the first 19 years of her life was supposed to smell of Dettol.
It's a comforting smell. It's institutional. It's like a antiseptic hug, Caimh.
Antiseptic hug. I think I got one of them from one of your
great descriptions, George.
Antiseptic hug does sound like something you need to talk to about a therapist about. The antiseptic hug as a child.
I thought it's a prog rock album.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, sorry, the thing I was about to say 10 minutes ago. But yes, we did the tours on Sunday, and this is the Mill, which is a brilliant local news thing in Manchester. It's like proper news, because if anyone knows local newspapers in the UK, they've all just become click farms that just put out the same awful things. So the Mill actually does reporting. And the big article today is Inside Manchester Tour Guides Turf War. Apparently there genuinely is, between, like, I think there's some in red and some in yellow thingies.
Oh God,
and
they've got colours.
Like Crips and
Bloods.
Yeah, Crips, exactly. I was going to go West Side Story, but Crips and Bloods is also accurate. Yes.
Is there a dance? Is there like a face-off? Are they jabbing each other with umbrellas?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and also as well, like, I love stuff like that. I actually mentioned in the Bunny McGarry Stateside books, because in Times Square there was like Elmos fighting each other and stuff. Like, there's been news reports about, because they have all the people in all the outfits. So there was like there's videotape of Elmos fighting each other at one point, and it's just amazing as things. I'm like that, you know me. I love that. Speaking of which,
I can't believe there's turf wars over that in Manchester. But maybe we were quite fortunate, given that we did 3 tours on Sunday, that we didn't, rub them up the wrong way and have them coming. As you were just saying earlier about beat us with their umbrellas and stuff.
There's ID posters and photographs of you guys that are just hung up somewhere with red string.
Have you seen these guys?
Have you seen these guys?
I'm gonna get one of those I Heart Manchester teddy bears through the post with like a knitting needle through it. Like, you've been warned. Don't come around here telling people stuff about things. Initially, I think most of what we did on the tours was probably not on their tours.
I'd say that's safe to say.
I mean, at one point, quite a low point for me, I went, there's a statue of some geezer over there. And somebody went, "That's Ingalls." I went, "Oh, right, yeah, he's quite famous."
I told you it was Ingalls.
Yeah.
I'd learned it from a previous tour.
I mean, I'd actually passed it twice before that in the tour and still hadn't bothered to check. That's how little effort I was putting into doing proper historical. I mean,
what information did you give people? I want to get a feel for what this tour was.
Well, you know that question people always ask you at author events, where they say, "Is there anything you change about your books?" And you always go, "Well, no, because they're a picture of a perfect time," and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I now have a better answer for that. Is I would move the Stranger Times offices close to the center of town, because it's a nightmare for a walking tour because you have to. There's like a dead area until you get to. So there was. So we kind of started off at the Stranger Times offices. Where we showed people that, and it's actually, I must say, it's a nicer building than I thought it was because I only saw the rubbish side of it. Turns out it was a lovely side of it, but for some reason on the tours, I showed people the rubbish side of it still because I'm like that weirdly. So we did that. Then we went down, did a road and a bridge, which was funnier than it sounds because that was we had the cover of the Estonian book. And then
I can just picture this in the Lonely Planet, a road and a bridge.
It was much better than it sounds, George. You don't need to selling it.
Yeah. I mean, that was the bit where I was explaining the Estonian book cover that which was probably my favorite part of the whole day was the 2 Chinese tourists that we basically everyone went in under an archway to get a bit of dry because it was chugging it down rain, and then I took a book out and started explaining about this road behind me and how it features in the books. And you can see these 2 Chinese tourists going, who is this man and how are these people following him? And then we went in and we did like the university and the library, which features in the start of this book and is also where I wrote the first few Bunny books. And then we just went around various different things. I showed people where myself and Elaine didn't get married because that's good tour guide.
Yes.
And fantastic.
And there was loads of places that they didn't get married. Actually, it was mad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was almost everywhere on the tour was somewhere we didn't get married.
This bridge, this road.
Yeah. Also, didn't get married here. We showed people our old flat, and then we brought them around. We showed them the hacienda, and then we showed them where Cogs's boat is moored. I say that, and one of the tours, Elaine got confused.
Why
I got a phone call and went, Brendan, I have no filter. Surely you figured this out by now.
But
yeah, at one point I got a message from my wife going, I couldn't quite figure out where it was. Now, to be fair to her, she did basically get there in the end. On the other hand, there's only so many rivers you can go looking for. So, she should have had, that was a fairly good indication as like clues go. But yeah, so it was all that, and people were very, very patient. And oh god, I knew she was
I warned you.
I was in the right place, just the other side of the bridge. That is all.
Yes.
That is all.
Yeah. I love that because in my head I was generally going.
Right notes, but in the wrong order.
Yeah. I was actually doing a little experiment in my head there, and that was she doesn't like being on camera, but she also doesn't like being wrong. So I was like trying to figure out in the like scheme of like needs of my wife where the join was going to happen, and it turns out she had to correct me, and I knew I had a feeling that would be the case. But no, it was generally, and then it was a lot of fun, and yes, it was a lot of fun.
You did 4 of them.
Yes,
yeah.
That's amazing.
We all did like
freaking cool
because I sort of joined other ones. Yeah. It was next time we're getting a bus. Is what we decided. We're going to hire a bus.
No wonder I had to keep eating.
Yeah, I obviously that you had to keep your strength up.
Yeah, Brendan was going into shoot. Yeah, and we had by the way, we had some great questions. I can't even remember all the stuff I promised because people basically said, "Will you put that character in something again?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I basically promised away
there
like
were a lot of
several
promises.
Yeah. There were a lot of promises made that night. But yes, it was wonderful fun. We had a great time with it, and we were answering a lot of questions and stuff like that. Brendan got some criticism for his Scottish accent. I like pointing that out to him because he's it was like his ego was getting out of hand.
React? Did he pull this face? Did he pull the face he just pulled?
Very much that face, exactly that face.
Really?
I welcome all constructive criticism.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, don't put that out there. What are you doing, man?
It was a stupid mispronunciation on my part, but then there was some manner of regionalism when it came to.
Yeah, he was saying. And to be fair to that wonderful man, he did then turn around to the Scottish lady. I thought it was with him, but it was actually just another person who come down for Scotland.
Who was from.
And he then corrected how she said where she came from. And I'm like, I think this might be more you problem than a Brendan problem. That is pedantic. But to be fair, I've had that with Moran and Moran. English people say Moran.
Oh, yeah.
And with all due respect to them, they are wrong. That's not how you say Moran. It's Moran.
It's Moran.
It's
We know.
Moran.
And I did.
I didn't know that.
I've
Australians also say
Yeah.
Moran. So there we go.
Yeah. Oh, I genuinely had I have two things about that quickly. One, I know a guy who's like a comedian who was based around Manchester who was Moran, and he called himself Moran. And I literally heard myself go, it's actually pronounced Moran. And I literally, as the words came out of my mouth, went, I am telling somebody that they're not saying their own name correctly. And I was like, oh my God, I am such an arsehole. So it was that. And then the second one is I was home in Dublin and I said Dylan Moran because I'm so used to people calling him that over here, the Irish comedian. I said Dylan Moran instead of Moran. And I swear it was like one of those scenes in a fucking Western where you can hear the doors swinging. And literally my oldest friend Alan just went, see, someone's gone all London. By the way, as an Irish person, doesn't matter where you're living in the UK. If you make one of those fuck ups, someone's going to go,
yeah,
I see someone's gone all London. And yeah, so
Craig, we'd say Noel and Liam Gallagher. We don't say Gallagher like they say, It's Gallagher.
To be fair, yeah. But that's why Craig's point was perfect. Because to be fair with accents and stuff, that is the thing. Like with Scottish gets the same thing Irish does from people, where people have a sort of tendency to do a couple of similar accents for the whole of the country. And the weird thing about Ireland is I can identify like 10 different accents and stuff. So Craig's actually, like, I wasn't having a go. Craig is absolutely right. There is, and he's a lovely man. But I mean, as for telling the woman about Falkirk, that's really a Scottish issue. I don't want to get involved in Scottish politics. But yeah, no, he's but it was just I genuinely, it was one of my favorite moments of the whole night because Brendan was frankly getting out of hand, and it just felt like Craig had that sense where he just went,
yeah, he
just
having
an explosion.
Yeah, I needed
work. You gotta get that pin out, pop that.
He recorded a message for somebody as Bancroft criticizing their lifestyle choices.
They asked me to.
They did ask you to, but he did it quite. I mean, I don't think there's a problem saying this because they said this to us. But like at one point they were like this because lovely people came up and said, "Oh, could you sign this for my wife?" I was like, "Oh, okay." Is that? Oh no, this is we're in a throuple, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And I was like, "I'm not going to put anything about that." And then they were talking to Brendan, and he's like, "Could you record something for my wife?" And he's like, "But obviously he did explain the throuple to you," and then he did Vincent Bancroft talking to them, recording it. Yeah, I'm signing a book while one of my characters is beside me, berating one of our fans for their lifestyle choices at the request of the fan. I have to say, they literally said, "Could you do this as a voice message?" And it has to be said, he embraced it quite impressively.
I run it. Yeah,
very good.
Yeah, but yes, no, it was so much stuff like that was a lot of fun. It was great, and then there was what was the brilliant kid who had the wonderful hat with the boat on it?
Elijah.
Elijah. Oh, by the way, it's the other thing we discovered. Brendan has an incredible head for names. I have a terrible head for names. He was like literally talking to everyone in the audience by their name after meeting them once. It was like seeing a fairly unimpressive psychic, if I'm honest.
Okay, here's me saying that's amazing, and then unimpressive psychic. I was trying to talk you up there, Brendan.
It's an amazing.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I tried.
It is a wonderful social skill, but as a psychic, it's a bit basic. All I'm saying is,
take the time to remember people's names. That's all. It's just a human touch.
He's a wonderful people person. He is, and they all appreciate it. I'm just checking in on the questions, by the way. And
Irene Hamilton. We don't mention that again.
You've got to go to snooker, Brendan, don't you? Brendan's got to go to snooker.
I do, but I've got another 15 minutes or something.
Brendan's, but by the way, because it's Brendan's snooker league on a Thursday, basically.
I'm a little embarrassed, but sorry, I'm a snooker nut. Snooker loopy nuts.
Every time he's mentioned, I literally have that thing in my head. Because how long is your snooker league? It's like you were saying, it's like it takes 9 months or something.
Yeah, it lasts the length of like the football league. Really, it goes from September to May. September.
How many people in it?
32 kind of thing.
And have you guys been in it the whole time? Like, is this a long-term thing?
New players come and go. It's an annual thing. We don't need to waste time talking about my snooker league. It's okay.
No, I think myself and George genuinely are more fascinated about the snooker than anything else we can talk about. All right, I'll just leave.
My wife Diana's put in, it's forever. That's how long.
It's forever.
Yeah. It's destroying our marriage. I will say this. My one question is, what's your highest break? I don't know much about snooker, but I know that's a thing. And he definitely will know the number.
In practice, 90. In matches, 57. So,
Ooh.
I'm all right. I'm all right. But anyhow, that's enough snooker talk.
That is enough snooker talk. I mean,
I think he's a bit embarrassed. We don't want to snooker too much.
It's nice.
yet.
Look,
Embarrassed to sneak off. Sorry.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I play my hobby is I play little figure. I play a game called Blood Bowl, which is way more embarrassing than snooker. It's basically grown men and women, but mainly men, playing a weird sort of fantasy version of American football, except you can actually also kill each other and stuff. And it's a lot of fun. And genuinely, with that kind of stuff, I honestly, I think it's wonderful for your mental health. Good luck. Any kind of a hobby is a good thing, as long as you're not, as long as you're not, I'm going to say it, fucking I've had a drink. As long as you're not sticking up flags at roundabouts, that's your idea of a hobby. Then, good luck to you.
But you can be looking at roundabouts and photographing them, right?
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, George, there's a whole thing over here where people are getting very excited about putting flags up. And
really? I didn't know about that. Oh, yeah. Okay. So
you're not missing. When I say you're not missing much, I'm really overselling it. It's one of the dumbest things we'll say, and they do it in Ireland as well. I'm not just having to go put their. But okay. By the way, moving swiftly on, sister Irene, I believe, is in, and I haven't seen. I am. I'm drinking your rum, and by the way, yeah, and it's very nice. By the way, genuinely very nice. Was there anything else we needed to? Oh yeah, quickly with the questions. Gary said, "Is Bunny's next US adventure on the horizon?" It is. It is definitely on the horizon. It's been a bit of a weird year for stuff, but it's on the horizon, and it will be happening. We haven't mentioned the book and stuff at all. We should probably do that at some point.
Oh yeah,
Brent, do you want to head off now, or because I don't want you to be?
Unless people want me to go, I'll go. But
I'm just worried.
We've
been on for 41 minutes, and I know you have to eat in the next 4. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah,
okay. I have 4 burgers in the car for the trip up. It's okay.
Do you have your own queue? Do you have your own queue, or do you? Of
course, I have my own.
Do you have your own queue?
Yes.
Very, very
do you have a snooker strut? I want to know if you have the snooker strut, the one where you just walk in and you're like, I'm in charge of this, guy.
George, I just have a constant strut. That's it. When I walk in somewhere, it's like Saturday Night Fever when I walk in.
I hope so. Yeah. Do you have a personal
needless to say, I've got to change into my waistcoat and dicky bow as well.
Oh, very.
No, I don't.
You just got my hopes up. I just got really excited at that thought.
I'm genuinely just thinking of the dicky bow and the waistcoat, nothing else. That'd be an amazing, just grown men,
perfect.
just like dressed like Chippendales
for the right price. Hey, we came on the second half on Sunday night as the Irish Chippendales, did we not?
We did, yeah. We were announced. Speaking of which, someone's asked, I believe there's been a request for you to do one of the voices. We're going to make you do the performance.
My pleasure.
Performing monkey thing. Ashley has asked Brendan to do his Grace. Do you want to do your Bancroft first and warm up, or do you want to go straight for the Grace? I know that's the tricky one.
We should have looked at this and got a passage from the book. Who's asked me to do what?
Ashley said, "Can you do your Grace before he leaves?"
Ashley, for you, I will try to channel in my inner grace, but I must tell you that with Ring the Bells being about Christmas and the birth of Jesus, it has totally and completely brought the fires of hell to us all, and we will all burn for eternity.
That's very hard to follow. Thank you very much. Very good. Well done. I mean, it is amazing. And Helen Andrews asked, who chose the voices for the audiobook version? We kind of worked them out between us at the first book, didn't we? For the major characters, friend.
There was a lot of back and forth. And Caimh just, for about 4 hours, he just beat me with a stick and said, "Do it better."
Do it again. Do it again.
I did, yeah. And no, there was a lot of deliberating. We were talking about this on Sunday, especially, say, Bancroft, where we had mentioned, for those of you who remember the old Irish Prime Minister, Charlie Haughey, that's who Caimh had in mind. And Charlie Haughey speaks from back here. We're living way beyond our means. He was like nasally, and he was also throaty. But I said to Caimh I'd last about an hour in a recording.
Your voice would go, yeah.
He was nasally, throaty, and very dodgy. That's the three things I was associated with.
Yeah. It just sounded like crime, basically.
Wait, I'm stuck on nasally, throaty, and very dodgy on a T-shirt. That actually sounds like a selling point.
So we
sounds like
three
of the left over. Yeah,
we went from that kind of thing to finally kind of coming from somewhere else in the back of the trope before we arrived at the glorious character of Vincent Bancroft. And you can see that my mouth has to go like this every time I'm doing Bancroft. It's kind of like I'm having a stroke.
Do you get a sore cheek after doing a day of recording him?
I swear to God, George, it's not something that happens all the time, but I do remember one of the days, maybe we were doing big, long Bancroft speeches or something, and my jaw was sore. Yeah.
Wow.
I suffer for my art, darling. You've no idea, Caimh, but I go through.
I know.
You.
And I appreciate it. We
just
all
sit there in your luxury office with your pen and quill, the muse descending on you,
and your bunker, and your small, tiny bunker.
Wads of dust and weird stuff floating around me. I think all you need to know about this is
Helen. Sorry, Caimh. Sorry. What were you saying? You're the author.
No, it was a question. You far away.
I wonder was Helen one of the Helens who was there on Sunday? Because that's a really good question, Helen, and I'm glad you asked me that, because Zeke is fully inspired.
That's the one this is in the comments, is it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Zeke is fully inspired by Caimh's favorite comedian, Joe Pasquale.
I mean, everyone's favorite comedian.
Everyone's. So I remember Joe Pasquale speaks in a really high pitch voice. So Zeke, if you don't know it, but you probably should know it because you're on a Stranger Times thing. Zeke is a talking dog whose cogs is gone, and Zeke is always up in this, and he's very cheeky, and he's always up here. So he's having his talk with Cogs, and he's like, well, what are you doing? And then Cogs can go back at him because he's all loud. And then Zeke is so you get a lovely little dynamic of the high and low little comedy duo between Zeke and Cogs. I love doing Zeke. I love it. Brilliant.
Yeah.
And it is Joe Pasquale.
Yeah. He is also a lot of fun to write as well. Him and Cogs are one of the. But by the way, a couple of quick things before you go. The one, the question, brilliantly, I asked questions for Jodie Taylor and myself on social media because I was doing an event with Jodie Taylor last night. And someone asked this wonderfully specific question on social media, which was, if you had to dress up as a wizard to rob a bank, which wizard would it be?
Oh, that's so good.
And then it was, the follow-up was, and why would you be dressing up as a wizard to rob a bank? And we're like, well, it's your question. And like, I was going, that's a wonderfully weird, random question, but I forgot about it. And then the guy was in last night, and bless him, he just went, you had to dress up as a wizard to rob a bank. And I was like, can I just ask, like, what reason? No, I'm just interested. And I was like, what wizard would you dress up as? And he went, never really thought about it. I was like, really? It seems like it's a really specific thing. But yeah, it was because I went with, in case you're wondering, I went with Rincewind because big Terry Pratchett
perfect,
and she went with Merlin. And you could see as soon as I said Rincewind after she got Merlin, Jodie went, "Oh, it was a better one," because I'm pretty sure I won that question. That's all I'm saying. And I think the other thing is, because you got to hear this, Brendan, before you go. We'll let you go to snooker. But talking about
with the dicky bow and the waistcoat and the no pads.
You need to get your So, George, I'll set you up for this because this is an incredible story. This is one of my favorite stories ever. I was talking about like interesting questions from fans, but you had a fan. I don't even know how to set this up now. I started it.
I'll just start,
tell the story.
Right?
It's absolutely fun. Tell the story.
So basically, for people who don't know me, I write comic fantasy and stuff, but I also write rom-coms. And I started to, the first ones were published well over 10 years ago. And not long after the first one was released, I received, and I get a lot of lovely letters and emails and things from people, but I received an email that was pure filth. It was just absolute delightfully written filth. And I buried the lead. So I write with my partner Tony, and my newsletter used to, always be about, Tony and my adventures, doing whatever we're doing. And this particular email was full of fan fiction about Tony as a winged centaur, not a Pegasus, winged centaur. He was very well endowed, and he did absolutely disgusting things to this woman. And she was really enjoying herself. So I read it, and it was one of those moments. I literally opened it at 7 a.m. in the morning. I opened this email, cup of tea in my hand, pausing for 5 seconds. And because this is the relationship Tony and I have, sorry, Caimh, you were saying?
I just quickly, I want to say the question I asked the first time you told me this, when I could breathe again. Is there any winged centaurs in your books that would have promoted like this?
No, I write
my favorite
contemporary. I write contemporary. I don't write I write comic fantasy now, but at the time this was all contemporary romance. So there are no centaurs. Centaurs don't enter my world. There are no horsemen with giant dongs. So anyway, so I sort of had my cup of tea, paused, read it, and because Tony and I have that kind of relationship, been together a long time, belly laughed and said, "Oh my God, you have to read this. This is the funniest thing ever." And he said, "I'm not going to read it. Thank you so much. Stop reading passages out to me." So I ended up just because I looked, and because I was a very new author at the time. And one of the most important things to authors in the whole entire universe, early on in their career and right through their career, is reviews. And I looked her up and realized she'd left me a 5-star Amazon review. So, and at the time, my book was brand new. My publisher was very excited. I was with Penguin. They were so excited that I had my first 5-star review. I thought, I can't write back and say, "Please don't write filth about my lovely partner, Tony." I was like, well, I'll just let it go. I'll just let it go. I won't say anything. So I relegated her email to my spam file, but they kept coming. They kept coming. Almost every few months, I would get another delightfully filthy email. Sometimes Tony had 2 giant appendages. Sometimes he was carrying her through the sky. Sometimes she was upside down underneath them. There was stuff happening. It was all over the place. They always came in at because I was living in Scotland at the time, at my breakfast time. So, that first email of the day, bam, there you go.
Bit of centaur porn.
Pure centaur porn. It was like, I have friends who write erotica. I read a lot of their stuff. This was way filthier than they could even imagine. I sent some of these to a friend of mine, and she's like, "This is next level. This is amazing. What is this? This is a new science." And so I ended up stalking this lady a little bit, because I'm like, I need to know who this person is. And it turns out she's a Midwestern American church lady. She's a deacon at her church, or she was a deacon at her church. And she was well into her 70s or 80s. I forget her age now, but she was getting on. And she was a pillar of the community. And also the filthiest writer I've ever encountered. Like, honestly, we're talking delightfully deviant.
A God-fearing centaur porn addict?
She's a God-fearing, centaur porn, smut-loving addict. So it was a whole thing. And this turned into a tradition. I actually stopped receiving emails for about 6 months, and got really worried about her. I almost felt like writing back and going, "Are you okay?" So anyway. It was about 2-3 years ago. Out of the blue, I receive an email, and it's from her husband. And he said, "I just want you to know," and we'll just call her Brenda for purposes. And he said, "I just want you to know that Brenda has passed away peacefully. And because she told me that she loved talking to you and that you had such a great relationship, she loved your books, I just thought you should know. And, it meant a whole lot to her and her life." And I was like, okay. Well, I felt a little bit sad because Brenda, no more filthy emails, hilarious. And then about, would have been 5 minutes later, it was obvious that he'd gone through her sent emails. And he had no freaking idea. He had no idea. He just thought she was had this lovely correspondence with me, probably talking about church stuff and the weather or whatever. And he just sent one line, and it was, Brenda really loved horses. And I'm just picturing this lovely man, lovely man in the Midwest in the States, church-going, God-fearing man, finding out that his very recently deceased wife had a centaur fetish and was pure filth.
What a brilliant story! And of course, you weren't going to tell him anything. You couldn't.
No, I just left
by
it.
the way,
I just left it, and there is an archive of amazing. The only thing is, someone said to me a while ago, publish it, and I'm like, I can't. She's the author. He's got the rights. There's no way. It's just.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure there is. Genuinely, my one regret is I've only thought of this now, but my one regret is because Tony's a good friend of mine as well as George, and I thought if I thought ahead, because I wanted George to tell this story because I think it's probably my favorite story ever. If I'd thought ahead, I would have gone to Tony, look, here's some money. Go and find a centaur costume so that when she's finished talking, you can just walk across the back.
It would never have a big enough. This thing had. It's sometimes Caimh. This thing had 7 legs. If you get what I mean, sometimes 5, sometimes 6, sometimes 7. It was a very interesting centaur. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, anyway, look, Brad, best of luck for your snooker match.
I'm going to bring the throne back down, and let's think all of snooker. I'm really sorry to duck out. I just want to say to everyone, this book, as I was saying on Sunday night, I mean, I know it's kind of like the band saying, "Oh, I think this album is our best album" and all that. I thought Relight My Fire was incredible. Again, actually, I probably should have asked you the other night because Relight My Fire is so clever because it has the device of zombies. So then we got all the celebrity zombies. This has a certain device in it as well, kind of centered around this guy. Now, I don't want to give away, but it's really clever how it allows all this amazing action and hilarious stuff as well to happen in the book. And it is so brilliant. Go out there, buy it, enjoy it. Get festive a little early. It's October the 9th. It's never too early for the C word. But do enjoy it. And I'm really sorry.
Everyone's just thinking, when you said C word there, everyone just thought centaur.
Never too early for the centaur word.
I'll be honest, it's going to be really hard to go to have a chat about the book now.
Yeah, I'm really glad I'm leaving now, actually.
I'm already thinking of the fan fiction, Caimh. I'll just have to come up with another creature.
Brilliant.
Genuinely, I am so excited the idea by Brendan just over at cue ball going, Centaur. I just love the idea that this is going to be
he had 2 centaur cooks. I missed the black.
Right.
Okay.
Brendan,
on that bombshell, Caimh,
pot one
George,
for me.
To see you again. I will. I'll pop them all for you, Caimh. Lovely to see you again, George. And hi to Tony.
It's a delight, as always.
Caimh.
Break a leg.
Thank you. Oh, in perfect time. My battery is running low. Great. Guys, lovely to see you. Happy Christmas, everybody. Let's go ring those bells. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Somebody just bought George's book, which you've seen that, which they should do. But just to be clear, the centaur porn is not directly involved in that.
Yeah, I have not incorporated. I actually have ideas. I'm going to. All of my Evie Snow rom-coms are being republished in the next month, and I want to write another one. And I'm going to put a centaur reference in there for my longtime fans. There's got to be one. Yeah.
It's just, I love that story so much. It's incredible. But the other thing with Brendan, by the way, that just reminded me is like literally Brendan the whole time was trying to get fed like constantly for the weekend, and also his phone constantly running out of charge to the point where I wasn't entirely sure his wife hadn't just given him an Etch-a-Sketch and told him it was a phone because he was like constantly, literally going around trying to find plugs for the entire time.
Is this just an actor trying to be dramatic? Creating dramatic tension.
Just
will
all
it
run
out? Won't it run out?
Now he's gone. I can say this. I love Brendan to bits. He's an absolute
best guy ever.
I just and it was so good. Genuinely one of the best things about the Stranger Times is because I didn't know Brendan as I think you know, and most people probably know. I didn't know him before we started doing the Stranger Times together. It was frankly very random that he ended up being an narrator. It was basically because Morgan at the time had commitments and couldn't do it. And Morgan is great, to be clear. We love Morgan too, but we've been so lucky just to end up with Brendan as well. And,
he's amazing.
I mean, I was looking at the reviews on app. Like, I genuinely looked last week and one day, and the Audible was like, out of 10, the last 10 reviews, 9 of them were basically saying something along the lines of, Brendan is the greatest narrator I've ever heard. And you're like, wow.
He's so good. When we did ours, he did our book over London, and he looked at it because Caimh referred to it just a little bit earlier. There's you go through the characters, right? And you work out the voices. And he looked at ours, saw that we had 23 voices for him to do or more, and just went, challenge accepted.
Yeah.
And
I gave him double that.
Did you? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And he nails it for everyone.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things I find so incredible is the ability, if you have multiple characters in a scene having a conversation, because I've tried to do narration, and whatever about getting the voice, keeping the voice is actually really hard part.
Yeah. Yeah.
And being able to swap between them is extraordinary. It really is.
And still keep the story going, like in an interesting way without that awkward pause.
Yeah, not awkward pausing, and then not, keeping the flow, and then getting the ironically can't say this word, intonation. That's it.
Yep.
Sister Irene, very good rum. But yeah, he's amazing at that. As is Morgan. The two of them are incredible. And we were discussing the weekend with the whole AI narrators and stuff, and I'm like, I honestly don't believe. Oh, there's like.
I don't think that'll do anything. You don't get the personality. Is that your take on it?
I'm very much against it. Apparently, Bren said he read something where they said there's 40,000 books that have gone up on Audible that have been AI narrated. But I think my comeback to that is yes, but how many people have actually listened to them?
Yeah, well, that's my take. It's like, you've probably got 1 million books just published, written ones now that are AI plus, but how many are being read?
Yeah, it's all you can crack out this thing, and it's just, and and Amazon stuff needs to sort it out and stop having there's lots of rubbish up there, and there's all fake books and all this stuff, and it's ridiculous stuff. And to be honest, I think I sort of, because we really talked about it quite a lot over the weekend, and I think my thing is, I think tech people, it's always been the thing with tech where they're brilliant at supplying stuff. Like, we've come with this, we've now, people love chocolate milk. We've now got cows that can give you chocolate milk straight from the cow.
From scratch.
Yeah, and you're going, nobody wanted that.
We don't want that. What are you doing?
I think that's the big, because if you see in any Facebook group I'm in, and certainly because like the hobby stuff, loads of people put up AI stuff, which is renderings of their things. And I'm not particularly interested in it, but I'm amazed by the vitriol it inspires in those groups, people hating it.
They really, really hate it. I remember when it first came out, and a couple of author friends would put up AI depictions of their characters because it was new tech. And we really didn't know how many people had stolen, how much stuff had been stolen at the time. It was just a new toy. And it was already kicking in then. It was such a thing. And it is amazing.
It is amazing that people do have the big anti-reaction to it. And I played with it and stuff in there as well. And then, again, when people started telling you how wasteful it is and stuff, you're going, oh, okay.
Maybe not.
But yeah, I mean, I weirdly, I have loads, I end up bizarrely making stuff out of foam board, despite the fact I have hundreds of pounds worth of MDF terrain and 3D printers sitting behind me and stuff. Because somebody asked that question, by the way. It was a good one. Sorry, I will. Alex Warwick said, I read to relax. Do you read to relax? If so, who?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a good question. Because weirdly, what I'm doing a lot actually recently is because I find it quite hard a lot of the time to read. I have, I do. But the
curse of being an author, actually, because you do it all the time, you read less. Do you find you read less now that you're?
I do find because I find it just hard to, because I've sort of, my brain keeps thinking about what I'm writing when I'm reading something.
100%.
So what I've actually found brilliant is what I've been doing recently is when I'm doing craft stuff, I come up here for a couple of hours in the evening when I'm sort of not, doing anything else. audiobooks while I'm doing something
Oh,
else
so good.
has been
Yes.
so relaxing, so amazing. And I can
Mm.
really enjoy the audiobook, but for some reason it turns off the part of my brain that is. So in answer to your particular, I've had some crackingly good ones. Let me just grab my phone so I'll remember. By the way, we meant to ask Brendan his favorite Christmas book. Mark Stay's The Corn Bride, by the way. We were talking about Christmas books
Oh,
earlier on, and it's absolutely great. I love it. If you get a chance, Mark's The Corn Bride is a fantastic Christmas book. And other ones, I'll do a proper thing and do some proper recommendations, but George, and then you can give yours as well, of course. But ones I've read recently, hang on, those are ones I haven't read yet. So I'm not going to recommend stuff because I'm very principled. Mick Herron, obviously brilliant. Clowntown, the latest Slough House, great. A particular nasty case by Adam Kay, who's a former comedian. Well, actually, still is a comedian, of course, but he wrote the brilliant book about his time as an NHS doctor. That was cracking. Satsuma Complex by Bob Morton, very fun. We Solved Murders by Richard Osman, that was fun as well. The Secret Hours by Mick Herron actually was one I'd missed, and I went back and it's my favorite ever Mick Herron book, The Secret Hours. Stone and Sky by Ben Aranovich. Jodie's book I'm actually probably going to do next on Audible, actually, now I realize, because they didn't send it to me, so I didn't get to. Oh, and one I would say, Blood Like Mine, actually no, a couple more. Blood Like Mine by Stuart Neville, fantastic book. And I was like, because I was a fan of his crime stuff, and I'm a little bit weird about horror. I think it's just a word.
Oh, is it body horror, or is it what sort of horror?
No, it's not. It's basically as much horror as my books are, because I get quite annoyed when people say my books are horror. And then I've sort of realized that horror is such a broad church. And I think my problem
was a huge church.
Yeah, I was thinking of like certain kind of movies and stuff, and like put me off horror, and like, oh, I don't like. And the reality is, there's loads of stuff that's incredible, including Blood Like Mine is probably one of the best books I've read this year. I mean, it's top.
I've not read that one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then other ones actually.
It down.
We Live Here Now by Sarah Pimber is also technically horror. It's kind of more thrillery, but it's got a little bit elements of that as well. But We Live Here Now by Sarah Pimber is absolutely fantastic. The Devils by Joe Abercrombie, fantastic. And The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown also. I'll do an email where I need to do some recommendation stuff. But I'm just saying, I'm on a run of absolutely cracking audiobooks recently. So yeah, what kind of book? Awesome. What do you read, George? What kind of stuff?
I've actually, they've got this huge book sale here every year where I live, and it's bonkers because we have a lot of older people in this city. It's where people come back to, and they're all eccentric. Like, this is a very eccentric part of New Zealand. And so every year I go and pick up, and the books are like $1 or so, but they go right back to the 30s and the 20s. And I pick up all the old comedy, like anything that's comedy from the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s. And it could be German, Irish, English, Australian, whatever. And I've been trawling through those, and usually I expect it to be a horror show of racism and awfulness, you know, the whole idea of attitudes different. And what usually happens is I'm very, very pleasantly surprised by how open-minded a lot of the comedy writers at the time were. So
interesting. I suppose, yeah, in a way I can see that though, just because it's. I always think, like, every time I'm in bookshops, I think the people that work in bookshops are the loveliest people in the world generally.
Yeah.
And even when we do events, as myself and Brendan were saying at the weekend, you know, there's a lot of crap in the world now, as we all know. And honestly, meeting like 150, whatever it was, readers was just so good for the soul, because you just look at these people and go, there are lots of good people in the world.
There are so many good people.
Yeah, and it's kind of, but one of these things we all kind of need reminding of in weird ways. And it was really good. I mean, my personal thing is, my political belief these days is that the people who run bookshops are form a political party, because I've never seen a bunch of people like want to run things more than the people who run bookshops.
So efficient, scarily efficient,
and they're all lovely. Seem genuinely very considerate, and they're all very smart. And you know, I've said this before, but I'm maintaining the people who read books are not the problem. It's the people who don't.
No. Okay, so with bookshops, do you do?
So go back to recommendations. Sorry.
Yep. Recommendations. Yeah. So the one that I just finished is called Gardening Rubbish, and it's basically. So one of the things I've been doing lately a lot, I'm going to go down a geek rabbit hole here very quickly, is I love forensicing, where Terry Pratchett got his references from. And
wow.
I read these books, and they tend to be the books he would have read as a child, probably that his parents owned or something. And I'm spotting so many references. I found where Colin came from the other day. That was in Gardening Rubbish. I think that was that Gardening Rubbish? It was one of them. And there's a policeman's memoir that was really popular in the 1980s, and you can spot half the guardsmen in there. I don't have the names on me right now, but it's just so good to go, oh, I can see that, because I'm sure you pick stuff up and, you know, as you're reading and listening and out and about, and then they end up in your books. It's always fun to see where other authors get their inspiration. So I've been doing that a lot lately, unintentionally. But
I mean,
sorry,
I don't know if you find as an author, I always have that where I occasionally write something that I really like, and I'm literally sit there and go, this isn't like Terry Pratchett, Chris Brookbar, Mark Stay. You know, I'm just going to, I haven't, like, I genuinely occasionally write something because it just sort of pops into your head sometimes, and you go, I don't know where this came from. But I do find myself going, because particularly as a comic, as an ex-stand-up comic, this is always a big thing that you want to make sure that you don't. And it's like reading it going, I've not taken this from anywhere else, have I?
You've not chucked to Robin Williams, basically. What was that thing? He couldn't listen to any comedians before he went on stage. Otherwise, he would just do their stuff.
Yeah.
And
he was
out.
famous for, just taking things out, stuff. But, I'm a big fan. But there's also Joe Pasquale, who we mentioned earlier on, there's an Irish Michael Redman who played the most boring priest in Father Ted, if you remember him. And Joe Pasquale famously copied or stole a very specific joke that Michael Redman did, like really specific, to the point where it didn't make any sense. Like when you went from because Stuart Lee did a thing about, if I remember rightly, the joke was I can't do it justice. I can't remember. I remember there was one of these things about people were always asking me, what are you doing in my garden? Like I can't remember the joke properly, but it was like, it didn't make sense for Joe Pasquale. It did for him. But yeah, that's a big no for comics. But
it can happen, but also with writing, if something's in your head, or especially like Pratchett, I'm always triple checking, because I have heard I have heard the audiobooks and read his stuff. Ben Aranovich, I've just seen a mention of his Rivers of London series. I think I know most of those by heart. They're so good.
Yes, and big fan. And Kobna, if I'm saying that right, the guy who does most of his is brilliant.
Oh,
and,
so good.
Really, really good.
He's got a beautiful resonant voice. Yeah.
Yeah. And someone talk about John Connolly, the Book of Lost Things. Yeah, I really want to read that. I think I have it actually.
I haven't really.
Because John Connolly is he's fantastic. By the way, if you get a chance, John Connolly, of all the authors I've seen, he's the most incredibly engaging speaker I've ever seen. I saw him do an hour thing at Harrogate, and myself and Elaine were saying the same thing. Like, he's wonderfully charming. And you also come out going, geez, he was the smartest man in any room he's in. He's incredible.
That's awesome.
Really impressive. Yeah. John Connolly is really, really good. Have we, because I know we're gone, of course we're gone over time. Obviously we have. But tell us about the vignettes, by the way, because this is a big, I've been following you do these on social media, and then
really?
Like me, I think people start, because it's just a lovely thing that you do where Kobna comes from Ghanaian name, Kobana, born on Tuesday. Oh yeah, sorry, thank you. Elaine is explaining the if he's Ghanaian, we're going to end up having to hire him. This is awkward. I have to fire Brendan now, because Elaine is if she sees anybody on TV, she'll literally stop and go, they're Ghanaian. It's like the amount TV, you get very dramatic thing, and like someone will pop up and she'll just pause and go, that person's Ghanaian. You can spot the mobile off. She's very good Ghanaian dar. I was trying. No, that doesn't work. What was I saying? Yes. What were we talking? Oh, yes, the vignettes.
Yes.
Because you basically just started doing these as a random social media thing that you were going out and just talking about your life, basically.
Well, I've done them my whole life. So I've lived in over 50 parts of the world, grew up in outback Australia around no people. I had this personality and all this with no people around me. I inflicted this on cows, Caimh, cows. And then basically I got to a city when I was a bit older, and suddenly I started, because it also in Australia, you're watching the environment, you're watching everything, because it can all kill you. Like, honestly, when I'm walking, especially if I'm in the UK, people find me hilarious, because if I hear a rustle in the undergrowth, I freeze because I think it's going to be a snake. And people think it's the funniest. I was the joke in Scotland where I lived, and they'd be like, "Oh, look at George, she's freezing again. She thinks there's a snake. Where's the adder?" But so I'm used to really looking around me. And so when I got to a city, I just started to write these little stories about literal things I'd seen, but they're basically like, I'd noticed stuff and I'd noticed people like I'd noticed things in the bush. And I've always told Tony about them, and I've always just, it's like been something that's made my day. Oh, look at that person doing that thing. And then I broke my foot last year, and being the loving writing partner and life partner he is, Tony told me to get off my whining, moaning backside and to get on social media and to do something, because I was complaining about not being able to move around and get out and about, and I had nothing to put up. And I just told him about something I'd seen out the window, and he's like, "Then put that up. What are you doing?" and people liked it. And people liked it, and something that I've always done is suddenly it's really wonderful. People really enjoy them, and I mean, you've had this.
It's great with stuff.
Sorry?
It's great with stuff like that though. It's very natural. Like this. I'm just thinking that reminds me of Laura Lex, a good friend of mine, a comedian. She wrote. She ended up writing a book about Klopp, actually, which was all about Jurgen Klopp, who used to be the Liverpool football manager. She's no interest in football, but she did this thing on social media where she was doing a spoof thing because he's a really cool guy and he's really nice and very sort of sound, and he's like, everyone loves him, quite right. He seems like a genuinely lovely guy. But she did a book where she basically wrote some tweets where she was pretending that she was married to him. It was all this fictitious relationship of what he was like, and he was going out getting the papers and stuff. And over a weekend, that blew up, and she got offered publishing deals by like the Monday morning to write the book. And it's a fun book. I've got it. It's a good laugh.
Oh, that's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
There's another one, Troy. What's the name of the character now? I'm blanking. He does this greeter thing. It's Troy Hawkes, I think his name is the character. But he basically, people in the UK know him. He stands outside shops and does this. He does this greeting thing, and that's a mate of mine from the circuit as well. But he just basically did this greeting thing because he had this character, and he just turned up and started doing it outside of like a rubbish supermarket. If anyone can tell me his name, by the way, because I'm blanking. But
that sounds hilarious.
But yeah, he started doing it. But what's brilliant is he started doing it, and basically as things and it's sort of weirdly then they put it on social media, and it started taking off. And he's now been hired. Like he was hired to go around and do all these things. He did like big events. I think he's now doing advertisements for Daz, if I remember rightly. But it's hilariously funny, and it's all this character. And basically, he ended up becoming a big thing and doing tours with it and stuff, because it's just he started doing some. That's always the advice to everybody I give on various different. Milo McCabe is the comic. I was trying to think of the character name. I know it's Milo. I'm trying to think of the names, the character name. I keep coming back to Hawks or Troy. I can't think. I'm blanking. I'm going to Google Milo McCabe's character. Sorry.
Troy Hawk. There we go.
Troy Hawk. Is it? I knew it was something like that. I just lost confidence in myself. Good. Thank you, Elaine. And yes, it's very fun. He's the guy in the sort of weird. He's this kind of weird, wonderfully posh thing. And
that's so cool.
All came out, and he was just basically doing a show. Nobody coming in, so he just went, "I'm going to do it outside of like Lidl. Could you film me doing it?" And it's like it's very clever and it's great, and it's very much his personality in a way where he's not being rude to people when they're going by. He's going, "You sir have the stride of a confident man," and like he's just doing this kind of positive stuff. To people.
I know this guy. He's fantastic. Yes, I do.
He's brilliant. And
he's brilliant.
Genuinely, it's the great, and the best thing about it is, and he's one of the nicest guys. Everyone loves him. Him and the other guy that from the circus who played Roy Kent in Ted Lasso, and again I'm blanking on the name, but he is the nicest guy you'll ever meet as well. And he came out of nowhere to become a massive star. Brett, of course, it's Brett Goldstein. Brett, such a sweet man. I remember talking about the Muppets to him because I remember seeing him now because he's always talking about the Muppets. It's like a big thing for him. I think his stand-up special was about meeting the Muppets. But I could remember doing a gig with him bizarrely on the 7/7 attacks, terrorist attacks in London.
Oh goodness!
2 weeks after that, where there was another. Just trying to remember if I'm getting this right. Yeah, 2 weeks after that, I was down in London doing a gig. He was emceeing, I was on, and there was another attack that thankfully there was no. I mean, they literally. I think I can remember making the joke on stage that they literally blew the back window out of a bus was the only damage they managed to do. And I remember it was a very weird stand-up gig, by the way, because I started talking about but I started talking about what had just happened that we all knew in the room, and the energy. Because I can remember doing this thing, which is basically said what we should do is hire out Wembley Stadium, fill it full of whoever wants to come, and then those 4 blokes have to fix the window on the bus. And it was one of those things where it's not a great joke, but in the moment it was like
timing wise, that
in
works.
the moment it was like wow, this big whoosh of things, and you kind of tried it again a few days later and it didn't work at all. You're like, but this was the greatest thing I'd ever written. Yes. So as Elaine's just reminded me, I have now rambled on too long. So
we need to talk about your book. And I know you're Irish, and I know it makes you feel so uncomfortable to be complimented. I'm sure you are. I complimented Caimh the other day, and the man could not get out of the room quick enough. If you want to make an Irish person run away, tell them you love what they do. They can't handle it. It's hilarious. But you're stuck here. So I would like to tell you how great your book is. It's amazing. I read it last weekend. Elaine sent me a copy, and it is, as Brendan said, I think this is the best one. And they're all amazing.
Well, thank you very much.
And it's a standalone. One of the things that you've achieved is, and as a writer, I know how freaking hard this is. How many books into the series? This is the 5th, right?
It's the 5th, yeah.
The 5th.
Yeah.
You've managed to write a standalone, so anyone can read this. It's
cool. Well,
so good.
Yes, I mean it's always the idea we are trying to, where it is kind of. Although I think there's like 4 reviews up on Waterstones. I had a look when I was trying to figure out what shops to go to sign today, and I think 3. They're all lovely, but 3 of them go, you should read the first book first. And I was like, we're trying to get people to buy the 5th book, but it is so.
There could just be fans wanting to tell people to read it as well. To be completionists would be like.
I'm never reading anything except the first book in a series and then going on from there. And I am never like, and it's one of these weird things. We want people to be able to entry points. And I'm like, but the kind of people who read this kind of stuff generally do want to read everything in order.
And or you want to read everything you've ever done. I mean, But
I think it's because, by the way, people have said about saving it for Christmas stuff. It's not. I wouldn't think it's like Christmassy. I know people read Hogfather every year.
It's the perfect. I read Hogfather every year. I think this is the perfect book to pick up before Christmas, because it came across my desk at just the right time, and it's almost quite fun to read it now in the lead up to Christmas, because it's a bit of an anti-Christmas book, right? So
I mean,
so it's kind of perfect. It would also be great to pick up on Christmas Day. I think this one's going to be a definite repeater, because it's so tongue-in-cheek. The way it treats Christmas is just fantastic.
It does. It's got that wonderfully. One of my favorite things about it is it has the that weird British tradition where every year, and I'm really hoping there's one this year, because there has been for the last several years, there is the shit Christmas experience that somebody sets up. It's so like literally at this point,
pull the piss out of it so well.
Yeah,
sorry,
but like the press go, they love it. It's their favorite thing of the whole year, and they all descend on it and rip it apart. And there was mainly their Christmas ones. It was also a Willy Wonka one in Scotland. I know.
Oh, that was amazing. The one in Glasgow. That was Glasgow.
That was so. My Scottish friends had such much fun with that. And all that kind of wonderfully shit experience. It's a weirdly, I think particularly this part of the world, that people love when something's terrible.
Yes.
It's like a weird sort of, it's brilliant. I love it. Yeah. It's like Americans would just go, this is disgraceful, and they'd like, whereas there'd be protests and stuff. Whereas in Britain, people have a weird sort of secret love of them.
They buy the tickets to come to the good bad thing. It's got to be a right balance. It's got to be shit enough. It can't
be like
be
the
too
Millennium
good.
Dome,
Yes.
But you know the Millennium Dome they had over here, that would have been like, and that was like a thing for years, where they kept trying to redo it, and it was all stuff about how it was bad. I think by the end it was pretty good, and then it closed. It's now become a venue. I don't think it's where Abbott is it? I don't know, but it's But people in this part of the world do love when something's shit, which is just a wonderfully delightful thing. But listen, God, we're nearly gone for an hour and a half, folks. Sorry, I'm just reading the comment. You far away. I should be wearing sandals.
I've got a really interesting fact with Britishness.
Oh.
So with shops like Zara, I ended up on a flight once next to someone who does shop floors, designs shop floors, and he designs them for the big market, the big retailers. And this one in particular, I think it was Zara. And if you go to Zara in Singapore, it's immaculate. You could feel like you're in a designer store. In Britain, he was saying you've got to make it a little bit shit because British people like things to be a little bit shit. And he said they actually tell people working in the shops, or I think it was Zara, it might not be Zara, it was one of them. But he said, just don't straighten the shelves all the time. Don't encourage the employees to make things look amazing because British people won't be comfortable if everything looks perfect. It has to be a little bit shit. Whereas in Singapore or Malaysia or somewhere else, they want it immaculate. You're not going to spend your money unless it's an experience. And I love that about Britishness.
That is fantastic.
Yes,
yeah, we don't trust out of this part of the world. We don't trust stuff that looks too good. We're like,
it's
maybe I shouldn't be in here.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially, I think, especially the north and stuff is always, like, weird. But just quick, Battersea last night, which was fantastic, and the bookshop, Battersea Bookshop, to get a chance, is a wonderful bookshop for anyone. It's absolutely great, awesome. So cool. It's in like the old power station, but it's now like a mall, and it's like a very, very high end mall. It basically feels like a mall in Dubai if anyone's been there, because I did some gigs over there. And it's really weird, where it's all like luxury things and stuff like that. Like the most practical thing you can buy there is a book. It's like it was, everything else was all jewelry and stuff. And it did. That's true. I was like walking in there going, I don't.
I'm not comfortable here. This is too shiny.
Yeah.
What's with this order?
Yeah. Right, well, we should, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming in. We should let you go off and have your dinners or the rest of your day. In your case, breakfast, I'm guessing, George. What time is it there now?
Yeah, it's 9:30 almost. We're going to go out for brekkie.
Jeez. I don't know why, but that still freaks me out. It's like, maybe I'm secretly a flat earther. I don't know. But yeah,
I want to see that in the book.
Yeah.
Author flat earther. Yep.
You've been absolutely, thanks a million, George, to you. Also, thanks to Brendan. I hope he's doing well. I'm going to find out. Anyone, I will put on social media tomorrow how Brendan's league match went, because I imagine a lot of people will want to know. But listen, and I will, by the way, there's no podcast this week because I've been doing everything else, but I do have nearly 2 hours of recordings of myself and Brendan randomly talking to each other. And so we will use that at some point. Just quickly, if anyone else has, just make sure with the pre-orders that if you've not, all that's going to go out and the sign and stuff's going out very soon, like the stuff from us that we, the bookmarks and all that. So if you have not, I think ring the bells at McForey Inc. Elaine, do you want to remind me what the email address is, just in case anyone's not got their stuff or not? Not wouldn't have it yet. Here she comes.
Hello.
She loves correcting more than.
Makes me sound like I'm really driven to just appear on camera when it is.
I kind of like this apparition.
It is ring the bells at mcforey.com. If you haven't sent it already, please send it to me today. I'm just finalizing things. I'm coming back to, there's a handful of people I haven't gone back to yet, but I am working my way through your emails, and I will come back to you in the next couple of days, and we will be sending them out starting from tomorrow. So basically it'll be going out. It should be landing with you next week, and unless you're slightly further afield, and it'll take a while to get to you. It'll be a couple of weeks, and then we just need to do a quick edit of the virtual tour, and then that will be sent to you by email afterwards.
Oh yeah, we have the virtual tour, which is me going around. And did you take any footage of the weekend, by the way? Because we said we were going to, but did you remember? Because basically a lot of the virtual tour is basically you looking at my nostrils. So if you're into nostrils, is this the tour for you?
Very exciting.
So we might have to. I might have to go back in.
Who
and take
isn't
some more
into a good nostril? I ask you.
There's someone writing slash fiction right now, Caimh. Someone is on it.
Yeah, 150 people are discussing, but there's one person going, "Ooh, hello."
Hello.
Yeah, statistically. Any other questions I may have? Yes, we'll be going to Germany soon. No immediate plans, but we've been there quite a bit. Hopefully, we will be again. I always love going there. Just quickly on reminders. I didn't. I said Leeds tomorrow night. I think we've some tickets available. Glasgow. Chris Whitmore is now officially sold out. Must email my good friend Chris and tell him that because he emailed earlier if I mentioned it. And from there on, Kibworth. We don't. Is Kibworth sold out? We don't. It's pretty close to it.
Kibworth said last few tickets. I think when I looked at it earlier.
Yeah, it's not the biggest of rooms, but that's sort of down south.
There's still availability.
So you can get some stuff signed there, and then I'll be doing Irish Discworld the week after that, which I'm very excited about. Cork, and always the nicest people in the world. And then I'll be back to Ireland at the end of the month on the 29th and 30th. Is that right?
29th, Carrickfergus at the Secret Bookshelf, and the 30th at the Gutter Books Shop. I can't speak.
Yeah, and the 30th, Brendan will be with me, which is particularly significant because for those of you who haven't got a calendar handy, the 30th is a Thursday. So Brendan is apparently going to be able to delay his snooker game just enough, and then we're going to have to rush Brendan out with there to get him back to his snooker league so that he can, keep his good record going.
Dicky bow, waistcoat, no pants. Maybe some Bunny McGarry pants. Can you get them to him in time?
I mean, I can't guarantee that, to be clear to people. Statistically, I don't think I'm allowed to guarantee because Brendan says he'll do anything we want him to. But I think there's probably other places. We'd love if you've got a local bookshop and stuff, by the way, or a readers group or anything. It's always worth dropping us an email because I'll happily come and do stuff if we can, if it's not too far away, or if you've online things. Always up for all that stuff. Listen, thank you very much. First off, to you, George. As always, I knew. I mean, I didn't just get you here for the Centaur story, but I'll be honest, it was possibly even funnier the third time I've heard it, because I'm sure I've made you tell me it at least once other time.
My pleasure.
Everyone else, do check out George and Tony's books. Brendan also narrates it on everywhere on Audible. and all
over
those
London.
places.
He did such a good job.
Over London. Yeah, and it's like a wonderful sort of steampunk fantasy, if I remember, because I've obviously read it, but steampunk is an accurate word. So if you're it's a lot of fun. And I was also, if you get a chance, thank you as always if you pre-ordered. If you get a chance, do bung a review up anywhere and everywhere you can, particularly Waterstones if you can, I guess is always a good one, and then Amazon or anywhere else. Anyway, I just shout out because this is actually the busiest. Genuinely, this is the busiest week of publishing we think possibly in history. Because last year was the busiest, and apparently someone told me this year is busier. So my book came out on the busiest day possible for publishing. So what everyone said about me and Jodie's book clashing, it turns out our books clashed with the entire publishing industry. So please do give them a share on social media, stick up reviews, and you can. You people have always been such brilliant support.
Reviews make authors smile, people. Get reviews up. It's it's the kindest thing you can do.
Yeah, and also check out the merch. Karen, our Mistress of Merch, has been doing phenomenal work. There's more stuff going up all the time. There's going to be Stranger Time stuff and Bunny stuff. Quick writing thing before I go. I'm nearly finished what I'm pretty sure is going to be called The Big Steal, which is MCM Investigations Book 3. So everyone bar Bunny. That's been a lot of fun. I've got Project Midnight. Not sure what's going to happen with that. It's a kind of thing I'm doing. I'll tell you about it when I know more about it. And then beyond that, Bunny will be back next year. I know it's been a bit quiet on the Bunny front for a while because the last book came out in December of last year. So loads of that. And listen, thank you as always. And we shall be in contact very soon. But thank you for your wonderful support. And goodbye.
See you later. Thank you.
The rest of you need to wave as well. Don't just leave me waving here on my own.